You're about to hear some logo design tips that very few people ever talk about. They're in no particular order, but the first tip has helped me out so much in the past few years. When you've generated an awesome logo design concept or you have a final design, you might end up having some of the following issues. The design might be too similar to other designs in that relevant niche. It might actually be lower quality than you can personally see, or it simply just might not be functional. These three traits are all entirely negative and you want to avoid them at all costs. And my tip actually helps to do just that. Take your design or your concept and then gather 4 to 5 other designs that exist in the niche you're designing for. An example, you might be creating a sportswear brand logo, so place it into a mix of other designs in that niche just to see how it interacts with them. By doing this, you'll be able to see any unintentional similarities that could cause brand confusion, and you will see if you've managed to differentiate the logo design from the competition. Also, mock up your designs in real-life situations, in this instance perhaps on sports clothing or other products, and that's simply to see how it's going to function in real-life uses in its real-life use case. You'll be surprised by how many designers don't know about this tip or just don't use this tip in their logo design workflows. When designing a logo, it might be tempting to make use of stock graphics or free resources. Now this is something you completely want to avoid, and this is exactly why. I even suggest not to make use of paid services such as Freepik or Envato for logo designing. And that's because you want your logo design to be 100% original and genuine. Using resources from stock websites opens up the door for not only your client's design not being 100% original, but also potential legal issues that nobody wants. And just for the record, I do really like Envato and Freepik. I use them both on a regular basis, just not for logo designing. Designing logos can be tough, but with this new app, making interesting and cool avatars of yourself and other people is just really easy and also fun. I mean, check me out right here on these images. I know, right? MeCord is available on both Android and iOS, and it's really quick and easy to use. Also free. You can take selfies straight from the camera and then apply high quality themes really easily. The themes that are on offer are vast, but I personally like to use the cyberpunk theme, the avatar theme, the magician theme, but also the starship theme. But there are loads to choose from. And experimenting with these themes is actually really fun. One thing you might find with AI apps such as this is that most of the time you need to upload a bunch of images to train the AI for good results. Yet with MeCord, you can get decent results with just one selfie and in really quick time too. The AI camera tab can literally transplant a face onto end results, and it's actually a lot of fun to play around with. But with this one, you can use images already on your phone, which is quite handy, and the end results do look super polished and high quality. And then we have the Hot tab, and this is where you'll find a lot of funny and random templates to play with. And again, let's just say that can end up in some really interesting and fun results. This one here, for example, might be ideal to send someone over the Hallow Eves period. Now you can try MeCord linked down in the description box below, and again, it is free and it's available on both Android and iOS. Now here's another tip that I created myself a few years ago, and it's something I add into every single logo design project. Again, once you finish a concept or a design, it makes a lot of sense to do this exact test. Either slap your design onto a screen or print it out onto paper. Then take your logo and show it to someone you know, importantly, only for 3 seconds. After you've shown them the design for 3 seconds, ask them to either describe the logo from memory or, better yet, to draw it. Now you can actually do this test on multiple different people just to see if your logo design is memorable or not. A logo design should be memorable, and this test helps determine that fact. But here's an add-on to the test. Once you've done that test, you can also ask the same 3 people to give adjectives that best describe the logo. For example, cool, bold, loud, and so on. Now of course, you can do this second part while they're looking at your designs for a longer period of time, not just 3 seconds. You can then use their feedback to see if your design's message or the keywords align with the adjectives that you've been given. And a pro tip here is to hone in onto shape psychology to evoke the right message or tone in your logo design. Now, one major source of anxiety or worry that logo designers have is that they worry their client will reject their work or just simply find faults everywhere. Sure, you can stop this by making a design that fits the brief and also learn how to sell your design ideas. All things I've covered before. But one extremely helpful tip I found over the years is this. Before pitching your designs to your clients, think ahead and anticipate potential objections or concerns the client might have about your design. You can then prepare reasons and responses that address these issues proactively. For example, if your design uses one font for the main logo type, but then a completely different font for the tagline, be prepared to talk about contrast and how this principle of design leads to a more visually appealing logo. You can even set up the design with the same font on both lines just to show how it looks worse next to your idea. Another strong source of anxiety or fear that designers have is fear itself. They kind of doubt their own abilities and capabilities. One clever way to get around this self-doubt is to set achievable goals throughout your project and your workflow. When you accomplish each goal, it can boost your confidence and provide a sense of accomplishment, which actually goes a long way to the designer becoming more efficient in the long run. When they are able to believe more in themselves, they design better and sell their ideas better. Essentially, confidence breeds confidence. There is one surefire way to make sure your design aligns with your client's expectations. And it's actually really easy to do. Take your client's brief and your research and condense that down into a single sentence. For example, let's go back to that sportswear logo design. The brief might have spoken about many things, but I could condense it down to something like, the logo needs to stand out in a crowded market and have a modern aesthetic. This first part relates to the client's important need, and that's the brand needs to stand out in a saturated market. And the last part relates more to the appearance of the design itself. This one sentence can then determine every design choice I make, and in the project, I'm going to refer back to this sentence to question whether or not I'm working to actually link back to this sentence or not. But if you want to learn some crucial golden rules of logo design, just click that video on screen. And until next time, guys, design your future today. Peace.